Use this run-pass scheme out of the Tampa Bay playbook to go ahead and break big runs and passing yards. Coming up next. Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTube that actually gives you full games of all the tips and schemes I post on my channel. I'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Alright, so guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, also that notification icon, so you can get my daily uploads. This has been, this actually is a formation for one of my Patreon members. They put a request for me to go ahead and build out basically a Buccaneers playbook, and I'm going to show you one formation that caught my attention when I started looking at the plays based on some of the offensive plays that go with it. There's a lot of really good complements where you can attack your opponent off the left and off the right and get a very effective running game. Now, what really caught my attention in this scheme is one of the base runs out of the strong Y off, which is the halfback stretch. And a lot of you guys are probably subscribed to me. You're also subscribed to Eric Waywright. He's got some really good content, and basically I wanted to try to build a scheme off this running play, so it's two-pronged. So I want to take a look at the audibles really quick. My base play I'm going to call out of the huddle is going to be the halfback stretch, but I also want to go ahead and make an adjustment. Now, inside zone splits or splits in general for run plays have never been really successful for me. I don't know, maybe it might work for you, but I want to try to complement this outside run, which is going to be the halfback stretch, with a nice little inside run. So I'm going to go ahead and change my run audible to the halfback blunt dive. Now, the other adjustment too is quick slants. Very generic play. I don't really care for it too much, so I'm going to go ahead and change that to the fullback angle route, because it's going to give me a little bit more flexibility with my routes underneath. So this is going to be my audible. So fullback angle, halfback blunt dive, 866 hook, and then the play action boot X shot. We're going to run this against random plays, random sets out of the 43, just to go ahead and give myself some running lines. We're going to show some running, then we're going to go into the passing plays next. Alright, so basically the run scheme is fairly simple. This is a wide 9 defense, but what we're going to do is just going to go ahead and run wide, and what's going to happen is 9 out of 10 times you're going to get a really good leverage against your opponent. Obviously you can flip the play, the defense actually rolls right here, but you should get fairly good leverage against your opponent, have fairly good blocking, and it's going to open things up for you. So what's cool about this particular run is that it's got a nice little complement. You can go ahead and stretch that ball out, and a lot of times you're going to get really good blocking where you actually can go and get a nice little run. Now, if your opponent really stacks a line off to the right hand side, you can go ahead and jump into that blunt dive, but a lot of times you're going to be able to go ahead and get some fairly good yards against them. So if you're picking up 5 yards a shot, that can help you. But if you start stacking the line, you can just do the blunt dive. That'll get you something on the inside. So let's see if we can get a defense that looks good. Right now I've got basically 4 defenders off the left hand side. We're going to go ahead and just take this ball to the inside against my opponent in case he starts really over pursuing off the stretch side, or if you get a nice wide gap like this, is another way to go ahead and attack your opponent. So I got some really good blocking right there, but a good block shed by the line. So this is a dual two-headed rushing attack, and allow you to go ahead and get fairly good blocking against them and pick up some fairly easy yards. So obviously you can't stack the run or use the run just solely against your opponent. You're going to have to go ahead and use some passing plays. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the passing plays that we can use in this game. Now I'm going to come out of random man blitzes, and one of the first plays that we actually have against them is going to be the F angle. We can leave this stock. I like to read the underneath route, which is going to be the fullback angle. Sometimes you could put your tight end number 2 underneath there, or another running back to actually read this. And really what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for that angle route, and then also the deep out route is going to be the next area. So just didn't get rid of that ball. I got a little block shed right there. Let's see if we can try it again against this man blitz. So right here, a lot of times what's going to happen is if you have a good tight end, you're going to be able to get pretty good separation, get a 10-yard gainer right there with that route. So against any kind of a mad read. So let's just go with this again. And then your first read is going to be against man, is going to be that little crossing route. That's going to be the area that you want to go with. If you got off coverage, you might be able to go ahead and hit the deep comeback route if you get the time, but generally you're not going to get the time against any kind of good defense. So you're playing Mutt. He's doing a lot of aggressive blitzing. That's going to be something to be concerned about. You might be able to pop your opponent up top with a big lob ball too if he's doing press coverage, but that's not going to be very common online. But you're really going to be looking to this route, which is going to be the out route by the tight end. That should give you enough time to go ahead and make a big completion for about 10 yards unless you're looking at pressed. Now, the other routes that we're going to be taking a look at are going to be the 86 hook. Now, this is how I'm going to go ahead and run this. I'm going to go ahead and take my tight end and actually put him on a whip route that's going to give my fast read right there against any kind of a man pressure. My tight end is really going to be my first read. If you got off coverage, the dig route is going to be something that you're going to attack your opponent with against man pressure. So we've got blitzing corners. And then the in route should be wide open to get an easy completion right there. So the ball got swatted out by Ramsey right there, but the completion was right on the money. So let's go ahead and try that again. The underneath route for the running back against man coverage, obviously that's going to be dead. It's going to be either two of the routes on the left-hand side, and Jameis Winston is just spraying the ball right now because he's getting a little bit happy feet. So let's see if we can get this off one more time, either the whip or the dig. I'm going to go with the dig. I feel pretty confident about that, and once again Evans comes up with a nice little completion. The backside route, which is basically that deep post, man blitzes is not going to be an effective route, so you don't want to look at it. Now, if you're an opponent that uses a lot of man blitzes, this is going to be the play that you really want to go to against man blitzes. We're going to jump into the play action boot X shot, and my read is going to be going ahead and taking Howard and putting him on a drag, and we're going to shift our pass protector line off to the left, because the reason I've got two guys blocking off to the right, so that's going to give me basically a bunch of guys blocking. And one other adjustment I'm going to do with Jackson is I'm going to put him on a hot route. What that's going to do is actually take his out and up and actually make a cut a little bit quicker. So now watch what happens here. He should be able to blow his man away if I can actually get any kind of protection from this line. So let's go ahead and try this again. This is going to be if you guys, obviously you guys have played this before, so you know how practice mode is going to be a little bit funny. Let's see if we can get it. Here we go. So right now with a fast wide receiver, you got a guy that's 94 faster. He's going to go and beat that one-on-one coverage. So this is definitely going to be the route combination you want to look to against your opponent if he's using a lot of man aggressive blitzes against you. Now, you never know what you're gonna run into when you run against a guy. Also, the other hot route is going to be that tight end. But if you got that opportunity, just go ahead and take the rack catch up top. That's going to blow away a lot of man coverage, especially if it's pressed 90 out of 10 times. And it's just not a route that people get to use as much as they did in previous man-ins, because a lot of people don't use man coverage like they used to. So that's one of the things that's key about this. So let's just go ahead and see if we can pop that deep route again. Once again, he's going to get separation, and you're going to get a big one-play touchdown off this route if your man jumps into man coverage. So let's go ahead and jump into cover 2 and show how we can break down the rest of these plays against cover 2. So if you got an opponent that's running a lot of cover 2, going back to the halfback angle again, this really is just going to be focusing on that fullback play. So this is probably not going to be a play I'm going to jump into much against my opponent if he's running a lot of cover 2. You want to look to the fullback, because that should be wide open against cover 2 coverage for the most part, unless he's playing some kind of a hard flat. But let's just go ahead and see if we can keep spraying that play. So usually the fullback route should be wide open, and it's generally going to be wide open because the mid read actually has to follow that tight end. He actually has got to protect the tight end for the most part, so this is going to be an area of the field that you want to go ahead and jump it and drop it down to. So if your opponent is spamming a lot of cover 2, another thing you can do too is just maybe go ahead and put your guy on a drag right here, so it gives you a high-low read on the backside. So if he actually wants to go ahead and try to go ahead and put a defender in the area, you got a drag on the backside, so that opens things up a little bit for you. Now against cover 2, this is going to be the key play that you want to jump into. It's going to be the 866 hook, and once again we're going to go ahead and make the following adjustments. I'm going to put a whip route right here, and then I'm also going to go ahead and take my outside receiver. I can leave him at a dig, which is basically a stock play, but I'm actually going to be looking, I want to go ahead and stretch the defender against cover 2, so we're going to put him on a fade route. And this is actually a pro tip. This is basically a strategy a lot of pros use. in this. You've got the backside wide receiver on a deep post. That's going to be a one-play touchdown if he's not playing a middle blue with one of his, and he's manually adjusting one of his defenders. So we're really going to go ahead and try to break down this side of the field, which is going to be over here against any kind of a cover 2 type shell. And let's go ahead and see if we don't get a block shed and able to go ahead and get that play off. So let's see this again. So once again, we're going to go ahead and look at the whip. What's going to happen a lot of times is this whip play is going to get free separation. You're going to be able to pick up a good 9 yards off that. So you can go ahead and spam this particular play against your opponent. It's going to be very difficult for him to stop that because this guy's going to be open for a good 5-yard gainer. If the defender actually plays down and plays a hard flat, what's going to happen is that's going to open things up for you on the backside. So, and also I've got right here, I've got obviously this play that I can make a shot right there. So that was actually a cover 2 carry because the defensive back actually followed over there. So I'm going against random cover 2, so it's not the perfect scenario that I'm running against. But you can see right here the whip is wide open, and now I've got the actual the deep post route that's wide open. But this offensive line is not going to be doing too well against one of the better defenses in the game. So let's see if I can actually hold a block here. So right here, Jackson's able to come down with a big play right there with the deep post. So when you're playing basically when you're playing mutts where you actually have a good team, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to go ahead and hit these type of routes right here. So let's see if we can get a nice little completion on the backside. So if the defender actually comes down, then you can actually hit the fade route on the backside. So that's a good thing to go ahead and to throw into your scheme a little bit. And then also another route underneath. You've got basically that route, which is going to be that running back route. So if he actually plays the deep post on the back end side, you've got the underneath route by the running back. You're running into a little hitch, catch him off guard. Nice little running back's going to be able to pick up some good yards. So there's no way you can cover the entire field against that. Now cover 4 against, or basically cover 2 against this play, I don't necessarily think it's going to be one of the best plays you can go to. This drag route didn't develop the way I wanted it to, but you've got the deep crosser in the back end side, which should be clear out the deep blue on the back end side. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this off again. So let's see. Right here, looking for the crosshair, and you've got the deep crosser on the back end side. So I'm getting a lot of massive block sheds because I'm just particularly using a mediocre offense against a practice now. So let's go and see if we can get this again. So crossing route, and then I've got the deep crossing route on the back end side, and you can go and pick that up. So in MUT, it's going to play a little bit cleaner against cover 2, but that's a good way to go and attack your opponent off the left hand side if he's doing a cover 2 shell against you. So let's go ahead and take a look at this against cover 3, which is a little bit more common of a defense getting used online. So once again, we're really going to be looking towards the fullback route. This is going to be a nice little harassment route that you can attack against your opponent if he's in a cover 3 shell. That's going to be your first read for the most part, and as you can see right there, he's really naked to go ahead and pick up some fairly easy yards. So defenders actually fall back, they don't play underneath. You should be able to go ahead and just pop this route fairly easily to go and pick up an easy 5 or 6 yards, and it's just going to be an area of the field that he's going to have to go and defend. On the backhand side, you've got the deep dig route, and also you've got the crossing route by the tight end. So let's see if we can get any of these different routes right here. So got the tight end route on the back end side. He actually made that ball a little bit contested right there with number 22, I think, which is Barry Church. So I'm going to be looking more to the more guaranteed route, which is going to be a little harassment route. But I'm going to pick up, if I'm going to pick up 5 yards in a first down, first and second, that's definitely going to be an area that I want to go to. So if a guy plays hard flats, then I know some of the other routes should be wide open. And another thing you could do too is just doing a quick outs on the backhand side, opposed to the other play, or just a small. If you got off coverage, you can just do a 5-yard out on the backhand side with Jackson. So that's one quick adjustment, and it just forces your opponent to play down press his defenders to actually go ahead and cover some players. So that's what I do like about it. Now, so 86, the 866 hook is basically going to be low high off to the right hand side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just leave the snap over off the left hand side, and then you're going to just look. You're going to watch the defenders. If they actually go ahead and play the whip route, you're going to basically go ahead and look high for Evans, because he should get separation. So look down low, and then you can go ahead and just wait for the crossing run on the backhand side. That should be wide open, because that deep post by Jackson should basically get wide open for you. So cover 3, generally that deep post is not going to be the area that you want to go with, and a lot of times this is what's going to happen with the defender. The defenders are going to float up to play the buzz zone against that deep dig route, and that should open up the low high in the backside. So cover 3 once again should get separation. Just got a block shed once again by this stout defense that's going to get these type of things in a practice situation. So let's see right here. Area of the field is just wide open and overthrown by Jameis Winston. So let's go ahead and jump into the next play, which is going to be the play action boot X shot. Really, we're going to be looking to 2 different areas of the field. We're going to be looking underneath and with the tight end. I could put him on a drag for some particular reason. The drag route just plays a little bit funny in practice mode, so I don't know what it is about it. So you see how he gets stuck up in the blocking, and that makes it very difficult for me to complete the ball to the tight end. So if I got a guy that runs a lot of cover 3, I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm not going to make any kind of adjustment. He should get a free release underneath, and he gets really flat. It's a nice little way to go and tack the flat against your opponent. The backside is just going to be a 2-read look against your opponent, so it's going to be high-low, throw it away. Don't go anywhere else with it. It's going to be basically those are going to be the 2 reads you're going to go against. You might be able to go and hit the sideline against your opponent, so let's just go ahead and take a peek at it and see if I can do that. Nope. And look at this defender. This defender is totally playing that perfectly, and generally they don't do that in game mode. They actually play down low. A lot of people play a lot of cloud flat, so that defender actually is just playing that deep route perfectly. But it's just very easy high-low, same type of read that you're doing earlier. So let's go ahead and take a look at this at cover 4. Alright, so against cover 4, once again, we're still going to go with that fullback route. We're just going to pop that route as quickly as possible. You should be able to pick up some fairly easy completions. If you just throw it right before the guy actually makes his break, you'll be able to pick up a good 5 yards. It's just the way this route plays a little bit flunky. He's closer than a running back route angle, so you should be able to go and get fairly easy completions with that. Let's see here. The backhand side, deep corner route is another area you can do this, and obviously you can go ahead and take a shot up deep, but it's really going to just establishing that fullback angle. That's going to be the area that you want to go to. You can also do just a quick little out route on the backhand side. It's just another fast read that you can do to attack your opponent. So I just like doing the combination of an angle and out route. It just makes it very difficult for the CPU to go and defend those type of things. So let's just go ahead and pop that. So just 2 areas of the field you can't manually defend. It's going to be very difficult to stop. Going back with the 86 hook, once again we're going to leave it stock. And this is where you're going to get fairly easy separation with the in route against cover 4. Once again, same type of read. You've got the little hook route, and the in route should be wide open. They'll be able to drop that down. Against cover 4, let's take a look on the backside with the deep post. Deep post is going to get bottled up, so that's going to be a clear out route for you. Nothing interesting that you want to go and do against your opponent. So once again, against cover 4, whip route, deep in. That's going to be the area that you're going to be able to go and jump down to. You got your opponent. Now, if you want to go ahead and leave the play as is, you can. This should basically clear up the running back route with the tight end. Or conversely, what you can do against cover 4 is you can streak up the tight end if you got an opponent that runs a lot of cover 4, and this should actually go ahead and give you a clear look with the post route. So eventually you should be able to go and get that. So let's see if we can do a low pass lead with the post. We're going to streak, and we're going to do a smart route with this route. Let's see if we can get this. And right there, actually just missed through the ball, but this is expected with Winston. So last play we're going to take a look at is going to be play action X shot. Once again, we're going to go ahead and just do a hot route right there if we don't know if the guy's doing man coverage, and it's just going to be high-low. So same type of reads, so you can attack your opponent any way that you want with these dual plays. It's pretty much the same type of reads as you did previously. You've got the high-low. You can go ahead and hit that if the defender doesn't fall down to the area. I actually had a block shot going on, so that's why I had to get rid of the ball. This is going to be basically this mini scheme. It's more about running the ball than it is about passing it. I'm not really looking for a big passing plays as much as I want to establish the run with the stretch play. So once again, to my subscribers, thanks for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys picked up from this tip, and this is from one of my Patreon members. If you are one of my Patreon members, these are the type of things that I will do for you. I'll build a custom scheme that you can use in game. So once again, thanks for your support. Make sure you hit the like button, and until next time.